folks. Just wait for everybody to come on. I thought I did promise a couple of the children yesterday that I would jump on and do a scrunchie tutorial, so and then realised obviously Boris was doing his announcement later, so I thought I would just jump on quick and just, it's not going to take long, to be honest, so hopefully just wait for a few more people to come on. I've used the this fabric for the samples. I think they look great. They look quite expensive. And this one, hi Sandra. And this one is it's a smaller bow. We'll concentrate on the scrunchie, but I'm going to show you how to do the bow as well. And I'll concentrate, as I say, do the scrunchie first. We'll keep our eye on the time. But it should only take about 15 minutes for all of it. I'm going to do it in the red polka dot, this one that I'm going to make. So I've actually made up a couple of packs as well, so you're not having, I mean, elastic is like hen's teeth at the moment. I've still got quite a bit left over from when I was doing masks. I'm still doing masks, so I've got plenty of elastic. Got lots of lovely fabrics, so I've put together a pack. And in the pack is going to be enough fabric to make 6 scrunchies. There's going to be enough fabric to make 6 bows. There's going to be enough elastic to do the scrunchies. I'm also going to put in 2 pattern pieces for you as well, for the bows. So because the one on the scrunchie, it is slightly bigger than the other little one. I mean, these are the little hair ties, so they're great. Hi Amanda. So yeah, so the packs together, for all of that, they'll be £5.99. If you can collect, do a click and collect. If not, just add £1.64 postage on and I can post those out to you. So we'll get on with the scrunchie. So let me just pop that down there. Move the table back a bit. There we go, that's better. Okay, so now, if you go online, there's loads of tutorials all over for scrunchies. A lot of them I think are quite confusing, so I've tried to simplify this one so kids can make it up. So basically, this is your fabric. This is a fat quarter, and it's about the ones I'm doing tonight, because I've got the bow round them. I didn't want it too thick. So again, it's a preference really how thick you want that. So I've done that at 4 inches. So it will come out at 1.5 inch width when it's finished. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half. You don't need to iron it. I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to leave about 2 inches at that end and 2 inches at that end and sew right across there. Okay, so about just under a ½ inch seam, yeah, between 1/4 inch and ½ inch seam allowance. Doesn't have to be too precise. Okay, turn my machine on. I'm just going to turn that up to about 3.5 stitch. Okay, so I'm going to pop it under. I'm going to leave this bit here. I'm going to start from about 2 inches in. So you need to back tack it. Just back tack it so that's stitching forward and back and carry straight down. Just make sure that your edges are together. Go all the way down to about 2 inches at the bottom. You don't have to be precise, 2 inches, as long as it's at least 1.5 inches. Okay, so the next thing we need is a safety pin. So the easiest way I find to turn in a tube inside out, you can buy loads of gadgets, you don't need them, you just need a safety pin. So all we need to do is just pop your safety pin in the ends. Okay, and then the top of the safety pin goes into the tube. So when you push it in, those two, your finger and thumb, just push it past and then hold it, push it past again and past again, and then use this finger to kind of push it up. Can you see what I'm doing there? And then this thumb is just keeping it to one side. And when you get to a point where there's no more room, just hold the pin within the fabric. Hi, Carol. And then pull along, just gently. You're better with, you know, the old-fashioned safety nappy pins, so then they won't open inside. The amount of times I've had one open and had to redo it. So all you do then is push it along, go back to the, see there's the safety pin there, and I'm just gonna keep my thumb there and keep pushing it. Push, push, push. And then it pops out the end. Just hold on to it, and then again, just pull it along, and it'll just come right the way through, really easy. So put your safety pin back there. Okay, so you can press this now, but I quite like it where it's a rolled edge on it. I don't really like it when it's too pressed. So now we need about, I'm going to use 10 inches of elastic here, because normally what I do if I make a scrunchie is I sew these two ends together, but that's quite tricky, especially if you're a child trying to get it under the machine and it's moving, it's stretching, it's only narrow. So we can actually fasten that together because I'm using 10 inches. So back to the pin again. You need to pop it in the end. Now go in and out, because then you're, instead of just putting the stress, if you just go in there, depends what elastic. This is pretty good quality. It's luxury elastic, this, so it's good quality. But if you buy one that's, at the moment you can't get elastic, so if you buy one that's not great, it'll just fray. So if you go in and out, it just secures it a bit better. Okay, now you've got to be careful, because as you're going through, you don't want your elastic to go all the way through. So again, we're just going to do that pushing motion. Push it through, put your thumb at the end here, and just keep going and going and going. But what you're trying to do is the bottom of the elastic, just hold on to it with your finger there, so it's not going anywhere. And then as you pull it through, you've still got it here in your hand. And then keep going right to the end. So you've still got that in your hand there. Be careful when you undo this. Instead of trying to worry putting that back into the pin cushion, just pop it down for now. And then you've got both pieces. Just push that out the way, and then tie it into 3 knots. So 1, 2. If you do it into 2, sometimes it'll come undone. It's quite slippy with your fingers as well. 3. Okay, and that's fine. So pop those, you know, just cut them off if you want, out of the way. I'm going to secure that pin now, because that's my favourite pin. You'll end up having a favourite pin, as my sister Sandra knows when she helped me with the scrubs last year. Okay, so this bit, it's not tricky. You've just got to make sure that you either, the seam is either on the outside, see the seam there? It's either on the outside or the inside. I prefer to have it on the outside, so make sure, because see the way it's twisting there? You've got to make sure that it's all the way on the outside. Okay, because then what we need to do, so I'll try and explain this as best as I can. So those flat edges there, the short edges, we need to kind of bring those round now and sew those together. Now, if that's twisted, it's all going to be twisted, so you need to make sure that the seam is on the outside. So if you just pick that one up and pick that one up, and then twist it together. Don't worry about anything going on here. Just hold it there, and then just pop a pin in it, so you know it's not going to twist back on itself. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to sew across here and close that seam up. So back tack it there and back tack there. Okay, about a 1/2 inch seam, 1/4 inch seam. It's not too important, as long as it's not too narrow. Back tack. Now it will twist a bit, so just get the bottom, if I can see, just get the bottom and flatten it down, and then put the top piece on top of it, and then sew a little bit, sew to the middle, then readjust, make sure it's nice and flat. Okay, and then back tack it. Okay, so when you bring that out, Yeah, favourite pins and scissors, Sandra, you did learn that very quickly. I get very territorial about my safety pins and my needles as well. Okay, so now we've got this opening bit, so we're pretty much done there. You can see that's actually a scrunchie, but we've got this opening bit. Now when I make them for work, you fold them over, fold that over there to create the seam that you've already got inside, and then just pop the seam in. And then if you pop a pin in there, the nicest way to finish it is obviously to hand sew that. But, you know, if you've got an 8-year-old that wants to make these, just sew it up on the machine. So make sure that all of that is tucked in properly and then sew it up. Now you can actually go right round the seam if you want, but we won't do that now. I'll just close it up on the machine. Back tack it. I mean, if you've got the time and the patience, hand sew it, because it does look nicer. But for scrunchies, I suppose, especially if you get one of these packs of done and you've got 6 to make, you just want to get on with it. Okay. And as I said, you can carry on right the way round and just create the seam all the way around. So that is your basic scrunchie made. Really simple. Okay, so we're going to do the bow now. Now these bows are great because these hair things, basically you can get like 100 for £3, something like that. They're not very expensive. And all you do is when you've made the bow is you fasten it on like this. And then you use that as a hair tie, and you can have a different one every day. And it's as simple as that, really simple. You can make these, Carol, for the grandchildren. Okay, so you've got another strip of fabric. So if you just fold that in half and then pop your pattern piece on, or if you've got decent scissors like Erica has, you can fold your pattern in half, fold your fabric in half once, fold it again, and in the center here will become the seam. So then when you folded your pattern in half, put it on there, and then when you cut it, you're cutting 4 pieces of fabric out at once, but much quicker. So when you cut round it, instead of having to cut 2 out or go all the way round, you can be a bit it's not lazy, it's just a bit more frugal with your time. You know, obviously you want to turn things around really quickly and produce something within 15-20 minutes, have a scrunchie for your daughter or your granddaughter or yourself to wear. So when I've opened that up there, I've got 2 pieces, one on top of the other, right sides together. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave an opening about 1.5 inches on one side, doesn't matter because it's both the same, and go all the way around it about 1/4 inch, and that's all I'm going to do for that for now. Must back tack, that's important. Go to the point, lift your foot up, needle down, back down again, and then just use your fingers to turn it round the edges. But if you remember when we did the hearts, if you feel like it's not going to go, just lift your foot up slightly and carry on. Lift your foot up slightly. As long as your needle is down, it's not going to go anywhere, so that's fine. Now I've got 2 size patterns for this. One's for the little hair tie, and then one's for the scrunchie. And you'll get that in the pack if you order one of those. Okay, and I've put colours in. There's a red spot in there, there's one of these in there, there's things that go with jeans, floral, some nice bits in there. Okay, so ideally cut, see where the point is there, just cut across, not too close to the, if you go too close to the stitch, it's just going to come undone. So just cut right across and then just trim slightly into the corners as well, because when you turn it through, you're going to get a nice crisp edge then. My Hoover is full of tiny little bits like this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip into just tiny little stitches into towards the stitch line. Don't go over the stitch. because obviously once you've broke the stitch, you'll have to just re-sew it again. But right up to the stitch line, this helps it, because it's a curve, it helps it turn through nicely. So as we progress and go on a bit more and do a few more tutorials, you'll see when you're turning things through, which is called bagging out, you can't make a curve. It won't turn nicely without a bit of help. So when I turn that through, if you can see that, as you open it, the pressure comes off this stitch line there, and it just opens it up and helps it turn through nicely. Now, if you had a knitting needle, big knitting needle, that's ideal for this turning through. All you do is just a bit of damp fingers, or just rub that, and it should come apart, and just push that bit through there. So you've created like a little pocket there, and just put a pen or your knitting needle, and then just gently ease it over like this, okay, and then pop that bit there through the hole that you've created and pull that through, and then the same with the other side. So just pull it apart and like that, pen in or whatever you've got. Don't force it, let just jimmy it a bit, push it through, okay. And then if you have got something with an edge on it, it's great because you could poke it right the way through. I'm going to pop this pen in, but be very careful because it is a pen and I don't want to mark. But can you see the way that point has come through there now? Much better. Let me show you. If I pop that end in, if I push that, so it's come out okay, but if I put the point in, it pushes the point right out. And then use the other side of the pen or something to just pull on the seam, just go around the curve, and it pushes the rest of it out. And that is that. Okay, so then I've got the iron on ready. Just going to press this now. So the seam that's open, you don't need to worry about that because that's where it's going to be folded and knotted on. Just make sure that the seams are on the inside, and when you press it, it should press into the seam and not come undone. Okay, and the more you mess and play with the edges, the nicer the rounded edges. And that is it. And then basically that one goes through there. Now if you have stitched around the edge there, you could put you could fasten it there. There you go. And just play with the bow a bit. That looks very Minnie Mouse, doesn't it? So there's one of these in the pack, in the red. As I say, there's a couple of blue ones. Let me lift that back up now. Hello. Yeah, there's a blue one, there's a yellow floral one. There's quite a few different ones. But yeah, really cute, really simple, and hopefully kids can do that. So I'm hoping to come back on Thursday. I'm gonna do the Easter crafts. So these are the bunnies. Now I have got a pack ready for those. So they are so cute. Again, there's going to be patterns in with them. Really simple to do. Nothing I'm doing at the moment is too difficult. So I want you to be able to build up a bit of just build up a bit of confidence really, and have a go and make a few lovely things for the house and make it all, you know, a bit of fun. So especially if the kids are wanting to help out. So yeah, so we'll be in well. I'll jump on Thursday. I'm going to put some photographs of them on, and obviously this. And if you do want a pack, let me know, because I've got a few. Oh, sorry, Erica. Yeah, watch it on Catch Up. You'll be able to do that. I've got a few packs ready, cut out, ready to go tomorrow. So you can have those within a few days. Okie doke. So yeah, thanks again. See you Thursday. Bye.